Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a really fascinating concept from our source material, something it calls the mind of light.
So, let me ask you something. Have you ever been wrestling with a problem, just totally stuck, and then bam, out of the blue, the perfect solution just lands in your mind, fully formed? It feels like it came from nowhere, right? But where is nowhere?
Well, according to the material we're looking at, those flashes come from a very real place. It's called the fifth dimension. Now, this isn't science fiction we're talking about. Think of it as a map of consciousness, an inner realm of pure insight, what they call the mind of light, that's said to exist inside every single one of us.
Okay, so what does it actually feel like to experience this? The biggest, most mind-bending shift is in how you perceive the world. It's about seeing, well, total perfection in literally everything.
When you're operating from this space, there's this incredible feeling of bliss and acceptance. That constant urge we have to judge things, to fix them, to make them better, it just melts away. Because you truly see, how every single part of existence, the good and the bad, fits into this perfect, harmonious whole.
There's this beautiful poetic line that sums it up: to see life in a blade of grass and the universe in a grain of sand. And this isn't just a pretty metaphor. The source suggests it's a literal description of a state of mind, an ability to perceive the infinite in the smallest, most ordinary things.
So, let's unpack that a little. What does that actually mean? It means your whole relationship with time could flip on its head. Imagine looking at a tree and seeing the seed, the sapling, and the fallen log all at once. Or looking at a person and seeing their entire life, from a baby to an old soul, all in one single perfect moment. From that perspective, how could you possibly judge anything?
So if the outside world changes that much, you can bet your inner world does too. We're talking about a fundamental shift in your sense of self, a self that operates completely beyond the ego.
And the contrast is, well, it's huge. Our normal mind, what the source calls the third dimension, is always caught up in me and mine. It's critical, it's judgmental, it always wants to change things. The fifth dimension mind, though, it comes from a place of universal love, profound acceptance, a quiet compassion that doesn't need to shout. The ego just isn't running the show anymore.
And what does a person like that look like? They're described as being incredibly alert, bright, and proactive. They can walk into a totally new situation and just handle it with this amazing grace, because life seems to unfold for them with perfect timing. And remember those flashes of insight we started with? This is where they come from. The source claims this is the wellspring for great inventions, for breathtaking music, for true genius.
Okay, so we've talked about perception, we've talked about self, but how does all this fit together with our regular thoughts and feelings? This next part gives us a kind of map of the mind.
Right, so here's how they relate. The third dimension. That's our everyday world of mental chatter, thoughts, feelings, the usual stuff. The fourth is a step back. It's that part of you that can observe your thoughts without getting lost in them. But the fifth dimension is a total game changer. It doesn't just observe the chatter, it cuts right through it, bypassing it completely to deliver pure, direct insight.
And get this, it's also a gateway. The idea here is that from this state of pure awareness, you can start to explore the very fabric of reality. You could unravel mysteries all the way down to the cellular and subatomic levels, and maybe even peek into dimensions beyond our own.
Now this all sounds pretty incredible, right? But is it just a random bolt of lightning, a lucky break, or is it something we can actually work towards? Well, the source material lays out a path. It's not easy, but it is practical.
So yeah, it might start with those little intuitive flashes, those fleeting moments. But to make this fifth dimension a stable, accessible part of who you are, that's not about luck. It takes work. It takes real discipline and sustained effort.
The source outlines 4 key requirements. First, you need a solid foundation. That means getting a handle on your physical world and your inner world of thoughts and emotions. Second, you have to live a virtuous life, a positive life. Third, and this is a big one, it requires years of dedicated spiritual practice. The term used is sadhana. And finally, there's a very specific meditative focus, the throat chakra, an energy center linked with truth and pure expression.
For anyone who actually walks this path, the result is nothing short of transformative.
It's described as a total rechanneling of your awareness. It can kickstart this deep, profound search for truth and give you an incredible new sense of mission and purpose in your life.
And that kind of brings us full circle, back to you. Because the source is really clear on this. This mind of light isn't for some chosen few. It's a potential that's lying dormant inside every single one of us. So the real question we're left with is, if this dimension is within you, right now, what insights are just waiting for you to find them?